The Review Den, retro reviews, lookbacks, and more. Hello my friends, and welcome back to the Review Den. And okay, I know, next review will be something other than OutRun. I've just got to cover one more cool version and then we'll move on.
You better have a nice, hot Ferrari.
It's a Ferrari!
It's the Sega Summer Sizzle.
When a publisher has a back catalog of awesome games, it would be amazingly foolish not to repackage them for modern players. It keeps the games alive, it keeps the gamers interested, and it puts a few extra bucks back in the bank for the company. Many publishers have fully embraced this, unless you're Nintendo. HD N64 Mini, please. But at the forefront of this trend is Sega. Even as far back as the Genesis, or Mega Drive, Sega was eager to package several awesome classics into one retail release. We've seen several Sonic and Genesis or Mega Drive collections, but one of Sega's longest-running retro brands has been the Sega Ages collection. Hey, that's a palindrome.
It's not a palindrome. The palindrome of Bolton would be not lob. It don't work.
Sega Ages has brought classic goodness to the Saturn, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 and 360, Nintendo Switch, and although they weren't labeled as part of the Ages line, I always thought of the 3D classics for 3DS to fit in there too. I mean, it wasn't official. Officially, these were known as the 3D Fukoku Archives or 3D Classics, but the advertising and packaging just felt similar, and these were all developed in-house by M2 as well. Usually, these classics are emulated or ported in their original form, with just some quality of life updates like saves or screen filters, but in the case of the Ages 2500 series, which is the Ages series for the PlayStation 2, these games were remade in polygonal 3D form. And yes, right off the bat, I'll acknowledge that this made the series actually pretty divisive among fans. These were not full-bodied remakes as we know them today. These were simple recreations, albeit with 3D graphics, and Sega farmed out a lot of development to other Japanese companies, which did lead to some uneven quality. The Japanese 2500 series is actually pretty massive at 33 individual games, but here in the West, we got a bundle of 8 games, or 7 in Europe, as the Sega Classics Collection, and at least I'd like to think it's some of their better ones. Such as OutRun. Yay, what we're playing right here. The 2500 series OutRun recreates the original game, even reusing some original assets, but in 3D, and it plays surprisingly well. Using 3D models means movement is inherently smoother than sprites, which is good, but it also dulls the challenge somewhat. With the default timer, you still might not finish if you crash, but navigating the track and traffic is easier compared to herky-jerky sprites. It's sort of like the difference between playing a first-person shooter in 30 frames per second versus 60 frames per second. In 30, you might miss some key shots as the target skips between frames, while at 60, they really can't cheese you if you're a good shot. It's the same thing here. But it does seem just a tad too simple. Again, this is where these games are divisive. I realize that fully remaking 33 games would be an absurdly tall order. I totally understand that. But some things like the sky backgrounds or the car model itself, come on, that's a Lotus Elan. Seemed like they could have been easily swapped for something higher quality. Now to be fair, these were all budget releases. Key piece of trivia here is that the 2500 in 2500 series stood for 2500 yen, the Japanese price of each game. That's just over $20 US, and compared to most budget release shovelware, I'd take these all day, any day, so I'll totally give it that. And OutRun 2500 adds a really cool arranged mode. Here, you are given completely new tracks and a longer route, as well as OutRun 2 style rivals to race against. It adds some nice intensity to the game and some longevity in pushing for higher and higher scores, which do save. Sounds are mostly recycled from the original, although new remixes of the music tracks are added in. They're fine, maybe not as good as the Saturn remixes, but still good driving music. It's all just a good, basic 3D upgrade of the original. I can't fault the gameplay, it's based on a classic. It just seems like they could have taken a chance here or there and really push it over the edge. If given the choice between the arcade original and this, yeah, I'd probably go for the original, but this is still a load of fun, and the fact that the West got this as part of a great compilation means this is all academic anyway. Sega Classics Collection is a great package, which is totally worth it in my book, and after I've gone through more of these games individually, I'll probably do a quick review of the compilations as a bonus segment. This version of OutRun, in fact all of the 2500 series, may not be to everyone's taste. They took timeless classics that stood on their own and gave them a simple 3D coat of paint rather than a high-dollar makeover. I applaud them for trying something new, but in hindsight, I think it's safe to say that the later Sega Ages collections that kept the original games intact, while giving them modern options and quality of life updates, was the way to go. Whatever the case though, I've got a few more arranged routes to finish, so for completion's sake, I'm gonna jump back in, and I'll see you all next time.
Congratulations!
Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and if you'd like to help my channel grow, maybe watch some of my other videos. I'll be back soon with another review, and no matter what, be sure to keep going, even when things get tough, because you are worth it.